Michael,
What's up, my man?
welcome to the Behind the Brand podcast.
Yeah.
First of all, I do want to ask you, what do you reckon about the space?
Very mad space. Comfy,
Yeah,
aircon's good.
yeah.
Man, stinky outside, eh?
It's a bit muggy outside.
Yeah. No, but it's good in here. Clean space.
Mm.
It's nice. Do you know that saying, don't judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, walk in, I was like, hey, how's this going to go?
Yeah.
Go through the little bit there at the start. I'm like,
And you're walking through and
walk
you're
in,
like, yeah,
hey, what's doing?
literally, man.
Hey, dude, I was thinking, outside, nah, this should be good inside.
Yeah,
Looked in, I was like, oh, nice space, man.
yeah.
I put some effort into it, which is good.
Yeah, so big shout out to the Better Media podcast studio. This is currently where we're shooting it. Behind the Brand. Thank you for hospitality. We're going to get
Cool.
do you want to just start off by introducing yourself for those out there?
Yep, so first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the Lord above for
Yep.
giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Behind the brand, my man there, my media guy there. Thanks a lot. Very grateful for this opportunity to give the listeners the input of who I am, which is Michael Fualalo. So yeah, there's my little intro.
Yep. What do you do?
So, coach now, speed performance based. That's my niche, speed coach. Try to make a lot of people that come through faster. Also, mentor. I want to become more of a mentor to a lot of the athletes, especially the younger crew coming through now that I'm getting the joy of coaching. Yeah, so trying to be more of a mentor leader in that sense as well.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
Sorry?
Is that what you do?
Yeah, at the moment, yes. A lot of kids coming through, I don't, some of them I haven't walked in their shoes,
Yeah.
but I try to give them the best advice that I can give at that time, but just try to lead them the right way, especially now with social and whatnot, they see a lot of stuff, they try to act like that, but, there's always a better side to it.
Yeah.
It's always that long road that's the better road in some sense. Some might just struck lucky, the short game hit, but sometimes there's a lot of misses, and then they crumble. So just trying to teach them, stay in the right path, get a good group around you. Everything else will be all right.
Yeah. And so you pretty much do that through Healthy Hustle Performance?
Yeah, healthy hustle performance.
Just through yourself?
Yeah, just through myself. That's more the athletes based. I also got another business which we Healthy Hustle Fitness.
Yep.
So that's the general pop, boot camp sessions. You got the strength components in there, which I like them to do as well, because in the day, they're saying if you don't use it, you lose it. So I like to get them lifting heavy if they can. Obviously, if their form's correct or not, I'll try to push them. But I say I'll try to keep the two separate. So the Healthy Hustle Fitness, general pop, where you find your boot camps sessions, little cardio EMOMs kind of sessions. The performance side's more my niche, which would be the speed side.
Yep.
Also offer strength and conditioning to that. Some sense, as in, return to running. If guys need off-feet conditioning, provide that. Or some strength components that's aided for that athlete.
Yeah, it's funny. For those out there that are tuning in, whether you're listening on Spotify or if you're just tuning into our video, I'll give you guys a bit of a nutshell on how me and Michael met about. I think the first time I did meet you or seen of you was at Inspire.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that was the first time I seen of you, and the second time I seen of you was on the cruise.
Man, do you know what? It was funny.
Let's have a chat about that, bro.
Because what was it? 2 years ago?
No, I was saying a year ago. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
like
It's been a year. It's been a year.
Man, that quick.
Yeah.
Because you were walking in, I was still with my wife. I was like, I've seen that guy somewhere before. Good thing, and then it went off. I was like, oh no. And then saw you again. I was like, no, but I think that goes from Inspire. I think that's where I saw it. But yeah, at that time, I wasn't comfortable coming up, say, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
man? Start that conversation. So I was like, just left it. And then met on, what was it? You hit me up on Insta, and then I was like, man, is that? And I felt stink too. I was like, I should have just said hello, which in a sense too, in a year, I've kind of grown in that sense.
Okay.
I used to shy away from that, engage that first movement. Oh, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
But I've grown a lot as a person, learned a lot about myself in that sense where, if I've seen someone like that, I'll just, hey, are you this person? Oh, no. If you are, then, oh man, let the convo roll on from there. So, but that was funny you said that actually.
Yeah.
How quick's time's gone too?
Yeah, bro.
It's flown.
Yeah, it's flown, man. It's been like every year already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first time I knew of you was then. But it's funny, like even I remember when I was on the cruise and like my fiance, then girlfriend, she was like saying the same thing. She's like, "Oh, I think they're from like Aspire," and I was like, "Oh," I'm looking, I'm like, "I don't know, is that Michael?" And obviously,
Oh, so you were the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
You were the
I
same,
was like,
mate.
I don't know if that's
Oh,
Michael,
all right.
but I'll be straight up honest, bro. And I think a lot of other people can probably attest to this. I looked at you and I was like, nah, bro, I can't go up to him.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Right, just because of the work that you did, or still do now. But just
Did
the
you
way,
know I did that prior to that cruise?
yeah, like
Oh,
I,
so
yeah, I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
I knew
Okay,
of
yeah.
that. Like I knew that you're doing stuff with the boys,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and so like I was looking at that and I was like, bro, I felt intimidated. I was like, oh, like in a highly respectful, like
Yeah.
respectful way, not in a way of like, oh,
I appreciate
you
that.
look like
That's
a
a
bully.
compliment.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like I seen you as a, oh, bro, this guy's like here. That's the way I seen you, and so that's why I didn't have the courage to go out and come up to you. And then it came to a point which you discussed recently when I reached out to you and asked if we can do some work. Do you want to talk about like a bit about that?
Yeah, so it was mid last
Yeah,
year.
it was mid last year. Yeah, right. This
Sorry,
winter,
it was
bro.
probably just what start of winter. So I got a message on Instagram. You know, you wanted to get into your passion.
Yeah,
Reached out what you want to do, and I was all for it. You know, like I was always that person like somehow I want to give back to the community, people around, especially you know support local businesses, whatnot. So when you reached out, jumped on board straight away, and we did some filming already. I think it was a senior crew in the morning.
yeah,
Just a speed session. I think it was some agility reaction stuff we did. Then we had one of my other clients, Iverson.
Yeah.
They came as a one-on-one thing in, at the gym.
yeah.
In Central. So we're doing plyometrics through there. And, you know, so the relationship from there to now, man, just seeing yourself also like where you started to now, like reaching out to, and it's massive. Like, and, you know, it's a credit to you.
Yeah.
You know, you took that leap of faith. And it was good that you just backed yourself. You know, you reached out, which many of them do, like myself. When I first started, like, and how many free sessions?
Yeah.
Yourself, you probably would have done the same as well. Just to learn on the go. So credit to you, man, from where you were to now. Massive achievement, which is good. And you're only growing too, which is good to see. And, you know, for me to be a process of that journey, you know, who's to say we might not work together still, you know, from a year to year now, but to know that I was a process for you to start to where you're going to be and hopefully you will achieve, massive. You know, it's always a blessing that way, you know, because you always want to give, not expecting anything in return. So it's good.
Yeah. I'm grateful for that, man. And even like right now in the season, like I think, but this week for me personally has been probably one of the like really tough and testing like in terms of like my own personal journey, and like trying to balance, you know, because I'm still at work, still doing my 9 to 5, but then also trying to get myself out and trying to do like turn my side hustle into my main one. And yeah, this week was one of those weeks I'm like questioning, you know, should I keep going? So yeah, man, what like what you just said there, man, I don't take that for granted, and we're grateful for that, bro.
Well, I've walked that road.
Yeah.
But I was doing 2 jobs at the time. Like I was doing that for, I think it was 4 or 5 years. Which at that time too, at the start of it, it was didn't think nothing of it. You know, you do what you do, or what you can do for your family.
Yeah.
You know, so just on that 2 jobs, on that grind. But then it really hit me when I think it was the 4th, going on to the 4th year, and then I really look back. Pretty much when I turned 30, I was looking back. I'm like, man, what have I done? Like, what have I really done? I really hold myself to a high standard too. So not that I regret what I did, because I knew what I had to do, but I knew there was more to me. So you know, got into that side of training and whatnot. Always loved training, mental health especially.
Yep.
Like it was just my time. You know, especially back then, I liked throwing around big weight. You know, so it was just like, oh man, ego thing too. Always been competitive. Always trying to compete with people I go to gym. Oh, who's a man? Coming for you. You know what I mean? Like I've always liked that.
It's like a healthy way though.
Yeah,
It's a
healthy way. Yeah,
competition.
it's nothing like against that person or nothing. Like, you know, sometimes I had that thing where I'll say, hey, I'm coming for you. And then, you know, they'll have that stigma where, okay, no, it's not like that. I'm not hating on you. It's just, I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's your record? Bang.
Yeah.
You know, weights that side. on the roller skis. What's your back? Back then, it was too heavy. Nah, don't worry about the running. Hey, don't worry about the running. Just it's either on the ski, raw or weights. Running, don't worry about it. And it's funny you saying that, like you're at that crossroad now. Like I was at that point, you know, and then I was still transitioning the 2 jobs, but then I was training at F45 studio. My wife was there too, so it was us. So I pretty much had 3 jobs at the time, like juggling, and then it was funny, like, you know, he'll take annual leave, one off for that job to focus on the side hustle.
Which is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you know, and then you're at that crossroads because then sometimes you're like, oh, you got no sick leave here, but you just take a sickie just to do your passion. And so I got to that point, I was like, man, you know what, like, it's gone on too long now.
Yep.
Do what I do, cut that, and then I'll just dove in, sink or swim. Sink or swim, man. It was funny because dove in, deep in, and COVID hit.
Bro, talk us through that, because I know that like we've spoken about it. But it's funny, like all the guys that are coming through, or that are going to come through the Behind the Brand like podcast. I know one thing I definitely want to talk about is how was your season during COVID? Because COVID was such a season for everyone. I'll be honest, if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have started the Kai's Visuals.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the Kai's Visuals, I wouldn't have started like with Nikki doing the Behind the Brand. So there's a lot of, I guess, good that can come out of the bad. But yeah, talk us through how was COVID for you?
Yeah, so we obviously once I left my 9 to 5 jobs, one night, then started going into my passion. It was probably 6 months in, everything was running smooth, and then all these little drops, COVID, you know, all that. Then bang, shut down everything. And then at that time, I think it was the first 2 to 3 weeks, everyone was just didn't know what to do, training wise, just life in general. You know, everything was at a like just still. Then once the I don't know who the Prime Minister was back then, but
Scott,
I think so. Can't remember, but
Scotty Morrison.
Yeah, I think it was. And then
during COVID, it was.
And then once he said, trainers can train one-on-ones. So that was the blessing, you know. So during that hard time where a lot of people went through hardship and, you know, blessing to those people, hopefully they got out all right. But through that sense, like I was probably, man, busy through that time. Like from where I was staying, there was like a little oval just there. And I was still doing like 10-hour days. You know, like mornings, have that little break during the day, afternoons, because could do one-on-one. So going through that sense, then that's where Healthy House of Fitness pretty much took off. My wife and I were like, oh, look, many people from that studio couldn't train indoors. So they came through, trained outdoors when they started allowing group fitness up to 10 people or whatever it was back then. So that's pretty much where it took off, and we ran with that, stayed with it, and we were just training at a park where I do my speed stuff to this day, you know, so.
Which is Parallel Park?
Parallel Park. And so it's been a blessing in disguise from that sense, because I really got to get away from that 9 to 5 and really focus on that sense, because everything was still, and there was nothing else, no other distractions besides the kids' schoolworks at that time. It was just pretty much that side of the business. Like, all right, we're training these people. I get to learn on the go as well, because that's when I started to go into the speed side of it as well, with the Healthy House performance side of it. So I look back and it was a blessing. Like, even now, not taking away from what everyone else went through, just going through my experience, like it was a blessing for me. Like, try to turn that negative into a positive. That was good. Yeah,
it's crazy, like, and I think it all comes to perspective too. Like, how do you perceive, how do you see something as big as having having COVID come through, a pandemic, coming through, and it's all about how you see it and how you come out of it. Which, funnily enough, like, I'm seeing businesses, you know, starting up within, like, ever since after, like, post-pandemic. Yes, we got the recession. Yes, we got the cost of living, you know, rising and all that stuff. But I can see that there's a lot of problems that need solving. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of see how that was for you in terms of, like, your journey after. But I wanted to just touch a bit on Colin.
Colin, my man.
So for those out there that are unsure what I'm talking about, it just came to mind. I want to talk about it because I think it's really important to acknowledge this. The last session that we done at Parallel Park, we're doing some content for you with your running. and like with your crew. And funnily enough, there was this guy like in the corner, and he just started screaming out loud, like, hey mate. And then like here I'm thinking that I'm getting in trouble. I thought I was getting in trouble because I got a camera in my hand, and he probably thinks, oh, you're not meant to be there. But do you want to just explain what happened?
Yeah, so Colin, he's been around. He's been at the park since I started there.
Yeah, right.
My wife and I started there. So once again, I touched on through COVID, we trained there with a group, and he was training cricket people. He's a cricket coach.
Yeah.
So that's who Colin is. So he's pretty much the only, besides my wife and the people that still stayed with me from day dot, he's seen me grow from where I was to where I am now. So he elaborated a bit on that post.
Yeah, the video.
You know, so I was on that field. I used to set out one set of cones, you know, up to 40 meters. Now I'm setting up to 6, 7 sometimes because I got the groups. So he's seen me from, you know, from the worst days, as in like when the floods used to hit through Hoxton Park and that.
Yeah.
I couldn't train or nothing.
Yeah, because that like where it's like where Pearl Park is.
Yeah.
It's in a flood zone.
Yeah, well, most of the parks anyway in that region, suburb, Liverpool, Hoxton Park, or anywhere. I mean that it's all classified as a flood zone. So councils will just put a ground there, you know, with a cricket pitch in the middle, so it's multiple use or whatnot. So through I think it's February, usually that February March period, like we are now, like we used to get heavy rainfall, and that period there, that part of the area there's a massive creek that runs through, just floods everything, even Hoxton Park Road. So even under the shelter where I used to train with the healthy fitness side, used to just get all muddy and all that. So instead of me, you know, calling the council or waiting on time, I'll just clean myself. You know, I'll get the high pressure washer, I'll go there myself, or my wife, or a couple of members of the healthy house of fitness side will come down, help me clean that side. And then even with the performance side, like instead of the speed stuff there, I'll just work on supply metrics under that shelter that we got there. So it's about 25 meters long, so can do some work still there. And it's saying I'm grateful for those people that allowed me to do that. Like the earlier stages, because man, that was my main income, was that side of it. So for those athletes, even those parents that allowed me to do that, man, very grateful for that, because it really taught me a lot too, how to adapt real quick. Because if I didn't, I'd just sat on my haunches or go, oh man, what am I going to do now? Like, where would I be? You know what I mean? I'll probably think I wouldn't be the coach I am now, because sometimes things won't go your way, so you just got to adapt. So that's it. Like I was just like, oh look, I'm not going to wait on it. Just do my thing, clean what I need to do, just suck it up, get back on the road. So it was a good sense. So yeah, going back to Colin, he's seen me from the get-go. So for him to yell at you and said what he said, man, that next day when I saw him, I actually like went up and gave him a mad hug, because for him to say that, it shows the character he is, because he didn't need to say that.
As in like
what he said about me.
So when I sent you the video and you watched it,
like obviously I saw you talk to him, but I didn't know what
you didn't know what we're talking about.
I had to go to the next session, so I just left you, you know. So actually seeing that video was a week after. Man, it just opened my eyes. I'm like, man, is this what he thought of me? You know, because when we spoke, it was just like he would speak about sports, and because he's a mad footy fan. I think Tigers fan, so he'll go, oh, do you know this guy? I've seen you train this guy. Like, oh, look, I don't talk about football in that sense, you know, like I just say my beard, but in the day, they don't want to talk about football, so I just, you know, just be a person to them. You know, so that's how like we would talk, our conversations would be. So to actually see that, and for him to say that, I was massive respect, and just opened my eyes just to think, oh, is this what people really think? You know what I mean? And it's actually funny enough, like just thinking about it now, it's like I had an athlete actually message me a couple of days ago, and like it really hit me, because he goes, oh bro, on the message I actually said, hey man, I just want to ask you a quick question. Who pours into your cup? Because with all the time, energy, patience you give to others that I see and what you're doing for them, who does this for you? And then I looked, I was like, bro, no one's ever asked me that question. You know, without all the years I've been through, no one's actually asked me that question. And I look and I've never thought about it. I've never sat down and actually, man, who's got me? You know, if I need to go somewhere, or who's actually got me? Besides my home, my wife's always there for me. Like she's rock solid. She's always got me and my kids, always make me whole. So when I go home, that's me. Like that's who pours my cup when I'm there. But outside of that, like, who do I turn to besides, you know, my family and whatnot? Like, I've never thought about that. And then the answer I actually gave, because I sat on it for a good couple of hours, and then my reply was, my actual reply I got on message too was like, what actually fills my cup is when I know I'm making a difference and I'm becoming more than just a coach to that person.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, this coach is out there everywhere, you know, which, you know, respect to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to separate myself from others by being just more than a coach,
Yeah.
you know, gain that respect and whatnot. So when I saw that video from Colin, opened my eyes, and then that message here, and I'm thinking, all right, where's this going? So yeah, and it stopped there at the moment, but it's just thinking about that a lot. I'm like, oh well, it's just another aspect and another journey to follow through with it. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, one thing I do want to like just add into what you're mentioning about was, well, this is something I want to press upon you. Yeah, just from like knowing you as a person and just being behind the scenes on a lot of your work that we've done. Yeah, I don't think you know how much of a difference you're making, like not even just for me, but like with your clients. And I see it, and because bro, I'm literally behind the scenes documenting.
Yeah.
I've got certain footages that I watch and I'm like, bro, this guy does not realize how big he is. And I think one of the reasons why you might be feeling it, but I think a lot of people do feel it, is this one word, which is imposter syndrome, which is you feeling like, I don't feel...
What's that word again?
Imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like you feeling like you're inadequate or you don't feel like you're there. Like you might be like, let's say we'll use you as a coach. It's like you might see yourself as like, yes, you're coaching these, you know, these kids and stuff, but you don't feel enough. You don't feel adequate enough to be the top one because there's always other guys around you. So it's you feeling like an imposter. It feels like, oh, I'm not who I really am. I don't think I'm really that coach. And everyone goes through that. Even me, when I'm like doing my creative stuff, I'll look at someone else's video and I'll be like, yeah, I'm not that good. And that's the imposter syndrome coming in. And so I know that we all deal with that, and I definitely know that a lot of like high performers, businesses, business people go through that, and that's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
And so I understand why you would look at that and be like, you know, look at Colin's feedback about you, and then look at your clients, and you'll see it and be like, yeah, wow, I didn't see it that way. Because if you did see it that way, if you weren't going through that imposter syndrome, you would have seen it and be like, yeah, I know it is, like in a confident way. But the fact that you haven't, and you're looking at it like, oh, wow, I didn't see it that way. It's humbling.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So something to look into.
Yeah, no, 100.
But yeah, another thing I just wanted to add on to was, yeah, man, I fully agree with Colin, like all the stuff he was talking about, and I've only seen what I've seen from the time that we've done work together. But even from there to where you are now, like I've seen massive growth, like seeing like on both ends. So yeah, man, definitely grateful that we brought that up. But what I wanted to do quickly is I just wanted to do a quick icebreaker just to, shift it up. And the icebreaker I got for you today is I just got like a simple question. Just a simple question, bro.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and I think it'll be something that, when I was thinking about this question, I was like, I know a bit about who you are and stuff.
Yeah.
With like what you do, with like, like you're a family man, you do coaching, but I want to know something new about Michael. So my question for you, and this is an icebreaker, is what's one thing about Michael that not a lot of people know about you?
Man, a lot of things. Do you know what, man? To be honest, I'm pretty boring, eh?
Okay.
Bro, straight up, like, I'm pretty boring, like, as in the sense where, like, I'll do my thing, train the athletes, train the crew, the Healthy Hustle Fitness crew, go home, try to be good dad, good father to my kid, good husband as well. But when I'm by myself, and man, I just like to chill, actually, I like to cut the grass, eh?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know, there's something about it,
I seen a video actually. I seen a video. No,
I hate. It was Charlie, someone from New Zealand. I forgot his actual name. Sorry if you're watching this 22, but I saw it and I was like, bro, I'm gonna do this too. Like when you mow the bit, do burpees. Bro, I did like half because the yard's massive that I got where I'm staying at now. Man, I'll go one strip, burpees, go down strip, and then I got halfway and I'm thinking, man, Now go do a couple more. And then I was just like, nah, scrap this. And I was like, nah, not me, man. It was hot too. I was like, nah. I did the most of it anyway. Did what you have to do for the gram. Post it up. But nah, I did the majority of it, to be honest. Like, no lies, did majority. But then after I just scrapped it, I was like, nah, not doing this. But yeah, to be honest, I'm just boring, eh? Like, yeah, I just like being in my own. When it's just me, like when the wife's doing her thing, the kids, I just like to do me as in like nothing, eh? Just kick the feet up, just be in my own thoughts. Because I'm a person where like I really think a lot. My mind always ticks. My mind always ticks. How can I get better? But then in the same sense, like how can I just improve as a person? Not business sense, as not a family person, like just me in general. So yeah, I know it's probably people thinking, oh, what's new? But man, I'm pretty boring, eh? Which at the start it did bother me. I was like, man, I'm just boring, eh? Like, when I was, in your teens and whatnot, you do what you got to do. Like, you just party and whatnot. It is what it is. But now I'm at that age, like, man, I'm just boring, eh? Like, I like camping. I did that last year with the family. Now I like going out. Just, we used to go to the city a lot, hotels, but now just like going in the wilderness, eh? Like, and it's not camping in the bush. It's like, you got power sites, taller trees and whatnot. So that kind of camping, but just being out, like, just sitting back, just cruising. That's me. Because once I'm on the go, I'm on the go. Like, I'm just focused in 100%. So, yeah. Sorry to everyone there trying to dull the moment, but man, I'm just boring, eh?
Yeah, they're probably thinking like, oh man, I thought he was gonna say that, he's got a,
nah,
he's got a secret business or something like that. Or
actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna hype it up. Like, I'm just straight boring, eh? So, yeah, sorry about that again. I didn't want to make up a story, man. I'm just boring, eh?
But what's good? Like one thing, like as you were sharing that, the first thing that came to my mind is, if you think about it, that's what people in business do. They do boring things. They do the boring things. They do the things a lot of people don't like doing.
Yeah.
Which is a question I do want to ask on, like, following up on that answer that you had, which is what are the types of boring things that you do that keeps you going?
Yeah.
So you were mentioning about, just kicking back, relaxing. About what are some of the things that, like, if you look around, a lot of people don't like doing it. They see it as too boring. But what is it something that you do? Some of the activities that you do,
as in within the business or just in general?
Just in general.
In general. Some of the boring things, obviously, I just mentioned.
Camping.
Camping, cutting the grass. When my kids are actually colouring in, I like just to sit there and just colour in, like their picture books. But it's not like there's little pictures, like there's full, mad, hectic ones where you just got to follow them. Like, I like just focusing in, just colouring in. Like, my wife will probably like this, is when I'm on the go to clean, like, bang. Like, I just in that mode. She goes, oh, why are you doing that? I go, just don't stop me. Just let me do my thing. Just let me clean. I might not be doing it properly, but like, I make sure it's correct, whatever I do, like, as in the cleaning sense. But that's probably the boring stuff, eh? Like, I wouldn't say put the camping side as the boring side. It's just more like, I like the car, like cut the grass, like get the edges right. Like, I just like that stuff. I don't know why. I like just doing that. The colouring in is a big one for me. Cleaning when I get into that mode, which is kind of very rarely. When I do, man, it's the brownie points.
Right, when wifey sees it, bro, the first thing she's like,
brownie
what's
points,
going on?
yeah, 100%. But probably the biggest thing is, like, everyone else, I just like to just, lay down, just maybe put on, like, just, that relaxing music.
Yeah.
Just like you hear in the massage parlors and whatnot. Just put that on, I'll just close my eyes and just zone out.
Yeah.
I just try to get away from everything. So, yeah, that's probably some of the activities that keeps me going, as in the boring sense of it.
Yeah. One thing that pops into my mind is flow state. Like, that's what I'm getting out of you, is that, like, a good example is when you're talking about cleaning. It's like, you're in that flow state.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, it's like the only reason why you're cleaning is because you're literally in the flow.
Actually,
it just keeps running through.
It makes sense you said that, because, like, with all those activities I just pointed, like, when I get into it, it doesn't matter, like, how hot it is, like, outside to cut the grass. I'll do it, like, because once I start, that's it. I'll finish it. The colouring in, like, I've got to make sure it's finished. Like, if my hand's sore, like, I haven't coloured in ages, my hand's sore, I'll just make sure, I'll just get it done. The cleaning sense. So it's a good point you said that, because like that's how I feel. And then going into the business sense, as in, that's how I feel when I coach. Like, I might wake up to go for a session with the boys at 4 a.m. With a good crew we got at the moment, or with a little crew I got at the moment too, where it's a bit later in the day. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, which takes like pretty much like
Yeah,
still
yeah,
early,
yeah.
but like, man, I get up and I'm like, oh, all right, got to go do this, you know. But then I get in the car and go, man, I just said I've got to do this. I go, nah, you know, I want to do this. And then once I start getting there, I was just like, bang, I'm just getting into that mode, and I'm just like, I just let it flow, you know. And then I think that's where I've kind of grown to, and my business sense of it. Like once I just get going into it, I'll go. Where I had to find, I struggled a bit.
Yep.
Was when I'll go, you'll have that little break before your next client. You've just winded down, and then you got to go again. You know, so it's kind of a structure point too, where I had to schedule correctly, which I had to learn. You know, so I can keep that going. I had that break, then the whole afternoon. And I found once I've figured that for myself, the business kind of just flowed with that. It started to grow as I started to grow, you know, as a person coach as well. And, you know, which is lucky enough, it's been great, you know, like, so I'm glad you said that, because that's how I feel with every aspect at the moment in my life. Is just when I get to it, man, I just let it flow. And then whatever the distractions is there, like, doesn't pull me away from what I need to achieve.
Yep.
So no, I'm glad you said that, because that's how I actually feel.
Yeah,
Because I was struggling to like say how I felt.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind was just flow state, and I think even I go through that myself when I'm doing like my editing and stuff. Like once I have that flow, I just keep going, and same as you, bro.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing editing and then I stop, it's hard for me to get back in. Definitely.
I feel like that's where the two where no, that's right, because it's a bad thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's a real bad thing, because like you see people. Myself, I was on that trap, like where you're on the phone, flow state, bang, 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 going through time. Oh, what the heck? Oh, 2 hours gone. Oh, what the hell? And then you're like, oh, what did I do? So there's a negative side to that flow state too, where I haven't. I just said I did experience, but like, I don't know a process where I got myself out of it. I think I just stopped. Like I was like, nah, I got to get out of this. I can't do this. Where so far with that flow state is a positive one, which is good. And nah, just made me think about that. That's good.
Yeah, something to think about.
No, I'm looking more for that. It's good actually. No, thanks for that. It's a good one.
No, grateful, bro. But yeah, like the main purpose is why I just wanted to do a bit of icebreaker is just because I just want to get people to know more about you.
Yeah.
But even I want to know more about you.
No.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good that you like doing boring things, because I think one thing that I've noticed about people that are wanting to get better, or people that are like high achievers, is that they do the boring things. And it's funny, I was waiting for you to talk about like, I do training and stuff, and you do your ice. I know that you do the ice like recovery and all that stuff. Like that's all. But that's a part of you.
Yeah, that's a part of me. Like that's the cliche thing that what most people would think a trainer would say. Like, I do train, I do my own thing. I post on the gram and whatnot, because I don't post it as in a sense where, oh, look what I'm doing. What aren't you doing? It's more like a sense like it's little wins for myself.
Yeah.
You know,
accountability
like,
too.
Yeah, 100%. Like, all right, I'm doing this, and I don't do it for that side of it. I do it purely for, all right, this is me. I need to grow as a person, to get out of my comfort zone. You know, like get comfortable with uncomfortable.
Yep.
I'm very uncomfortable about posting stuff.
Yeah.
As in the training side of that. Like, I'll never post. I'll try not to never post about my personal life, because I want to keep that separate. It's just more about me in a sense where I find that little win. So like for me, when you said that icebreaker, it was just like, man, it was pretty much easy. Like in my head, I'm thinking, don't make up a story. Yeah. Don't be that person. Don't make a person. Yeah, don't be that person, man. So I was like, nah, I'm just straight boring. So, and I'm happy with that now. Like I'm content with that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that too. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, man. Well, what I want to do now is I actually want to get into the meat behind our podcast, which is it's a business podcast, and where our main aim behind the brand is to get as much people within Western Sydney and their businesses to come through and share their story. Yeah. So I want to get straight into it by just talking about the name, Healthy Hustle Fitness or Healthy Hustle Performance. Yeah. How did that come about?
So Healthy Hustle Fitness pretty much started, and this goes way back to high school. So PE, you know how you do some subjects and that. So it was one of the subjects, if I can remember, was like, if you were to run or if you were to become a trainer or not, what would you call it? And I know I just always, since young, like I was always on that hustle. Like always, like when YouTube was kind of become big back then, it was like, I used to just type hustle. And then that kind of stuck with it. Then the fitness, the healthy side of becoming a trainer or whatnot. I just stuck those two together. So that was kind of like just a rough estimate for my subject at that time. Then did my courses, and it was kind of the similar concept.
Yeah.
And then I just used that. I was like, oh, healthy hustle. It's like, yeah, man, I love that. Healthy hustle fitness. So stuck with that. And then so that's how healthy hustle fitness became the name.
Yep.
Of the fitness side of it. So stuck with that with the boot camp side. So that's that niche of it. The general pop, you know, the group fitness.
People that want to get fit.
Yeah, the people that want to get fit, you know, kind of the weekend warrior, just want to get fit, whatnot. But in the same sense, like I kind of didn't want to be like another just group studio.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I put those people through hell sometimes. Like some stuff I do, like they're doing it. Obviously,
Yeah. Moderation.
moderation. I level it down a bit, but it's not like much, you know. Like so, obviously, not trying to scare people away. Too. It's more like, you know, you come. I tell everyone, stay in your lane, do your thing. Don't try to compete with the person next to you. They'll probably be near longer. You know, you just do your thing. Feel comfortable. Be happy with that. So that's how Healthy House of Fitness came along. Then the performance side came along. I think I was second year in with the fitness side.
What year was that?
So that would have been 2001, I think, or 2002.
Uh-huh.
And then at that time, I knew I wanted to grow part of the business as well. So I looked in the area, whole Liverpool, Campbelltown, whatnot. So my niche has always been, I was always fast coming through the sports, multiple sports, whatnot. And my dad actually taught me some speed stuff. Like, no, he was not qualified. No, he just did his own research. I just followed it, and you know, I was always intrigued with that side of training. So I was like, looked around the area. There wasn't really a niche for that. There was some out in the eastern suburbs, whatnot, which with my mentor Roger February, man, he owns that market out there. In my area, there wasn't really much. It was pretty much just track coaches, you know. So I was like, man, I want to tap into this. Like, I know this is my passion too. So I know I'll kill it. I just need to get taught by the right person. So I reached out to one person. Didn't kind of get the answer I wanted. Reached out to Roger Fabry, like I said. You know, heard back from them. His business manager, Becky. Shout out to you, man. Always got time for that lady.
Yeah.
So they reached out. You know, next thing to next, did about 15 to 20 weeks with Roger. He told me the nitty and gritty from, you know, mechanics, basic mechanics where, you know, you'll see it with everyone. Learned how to program accordingly, as into if I had someone for a short time, long time, all that stuff. So for that, I would always be grateful and I'd always respect him for that, no matter what. And I'll always stay loyal to that guy. You know, even though some people may have their opinions, I'll always have his back on that. So, and once I learned that, I pretty much just threw myself in the deep end once again, where a couple of people come through, you know, I was like, oh no, just come through free session. I need to learn. So I just put myself out there, as in the sense, you know, offered some teams and out my services, never got nothing back, which is fine. Just threw myself out there, but I knew there was a niche within that region, and I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be that person where if someone was to speak a name, oh, do you know any speed coaches? Michael Fualalo is that person. So I wanted to be that person. So, you know, did the thing. There was actually it was a girls group, a football team. This guy ran a girls program, rugby league. Their names were Gems. He reached out to me first. So he was the actual first team or big group I got to work with, as not my own clients. And I spoke to him. I was like, look, man, I'm just kind of fresh. I'm learning the game. Do you mind, you know, like this is the price. And it was like reduced to like from what prices he told me he was getting. And it was like slashed dramatically from what, which I was fine with too, because he was giving me opportunity, but also I made sure I let him know. I was like, look, man, I'm just fresh. I don't want anyone else involvement, because at the end of the day, I want to grow too. You can accept what I'm saying, you know, or not. It's up to you. But this is what I'm bringing forward to you. This is who you will get. It's up to you. Yeah. He thought about it, which, you know, fun enough. Like, he wants to grow his program as well. So he came and goes, look, I've got a trainer there now. I go, no, look, man, I told you, I don't want no involvement from anyone. They can warm up, but if you want me there just purely for speed and get these girls running fast, I want full control. You know, besides, obviously, you got control of the program, as in what you're teaching them, but with the speed side of that, just let me take control. He goes, done. And from there, he pretty much opened doors because I got to practice with a big group, which I never, and his big group was 30. So got to do that, and man, it was bad because these girls were like teenagers.
Yeah.
Just learning, you know, it was good. It was fun. I never look back and go, oh, wish I did this. It was mad. Like, I made some big mistakes as in programming wise, big mistakes how I handled situations with, you know, some of the athletes. But it was all a learning curve, and it was mad. Like, I enjoyed every second of it. So from there, slowly, just got bigger, and, you know, touching back on Colin, he saw everything of that. You know, so when he mentioned it, I was like, oh, man, I'm starting to, you know, I'm happy where I'm at. Obviously, I want to get to a stage, and my final thing, I feel like if I made it is when I don't need to post any more of speed stuff. You know, people already know who I am. If a kid goes somewhere, oh, who trained you? Michael, you know, that's my final, and I know that's where I've made it, when I don't need to post no more. Which, because social is big. Yeah. You know yourself, for your kind, you need social. Everyone needs social. Trainers, my industry, social is big, because that's kind of where you get your leads majority of your leads, besides, you know, word of mouth and whatnot. Yeah. Which, again, it's a big thing, because if you're bad, then that bad thing goes around, you'll never get no one. But if it's always good word of mouth about yourself, you always get clients. Social's a big thing now too, but I find social in the sense where, man, I kind of don't need it in my life. Yep. You know, but I still need it at this point where I'm at.
In the season, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Where I don't want it. You know, I don't want it in my life. I just want to be that person where everyone knows. And I was thinking about it a couple of months ago, actually, because the industry I'm in, it's kind of a bad thing too. Yeah. In a sense where, say for instance, argument's sake, I'm training you. You become the best person at your team, you know, your region or whatnot. You make reps or whatnot. But then those kids' parents start seeing, oh, where's this guy training? Come to Mockle. Now, do I take those people to grow my business where I need it to be, short term, great, money wise, all that to come through? Or do I stay loyal to you that's been with me from day dot? And you know, obviously you've gone through that process. I've helped you get there. And stick by that and take away those people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it's very hard. And that's where I'm at the point now. Like, it's very challenging for me, because a lot of parents are seeing that. And obviously in a group sense, if I start a program, like an off-season program with the juniors, say, for instance, mad, like everyone's kind of new. That's great, you know, but to a sense where, man, how do I combat that issue? Because I want to grow as a business, but at the same sense, like, it's very hard too, because now, say if we'll go back to you, in a sense, like, then you're not getting that service that was separating you from everyone else. Wow. And like, so I'm kind of battling that at the moment, because, it's just hard. Like, I kind of see, like, I've kind of got a path how I think I can do it. Yep. It's just like, I've got to apply it. You know? So, but same sense, like, at the end of the day, everyone needs to eat as well. Yeah. You know? Like, I've got to put food on the table for my family. This is my only income. Mm-hmm. And that's the juggle where I'm at the moment, business-wise. Yeah. Because it's very hard in that sense, you know. Like, the general fitness side, great, because everyone's there. They just want to get fit, look good, be stronger, move right, you know, so they can, whatever goals they have, they can try to achieve it. But with that side of it, it's the tricky bit where I've got to try to juggle that sense, like, because I'm at that stage, a lot of kids that were with me from day dot, they're starting to get older, starting to get recognized, starting to make big moves themselves, which I'm happy to see, and I'm grateful for that. They led me to be with that journey where, okay, what now? Because now a lot of leads are coming from that. Yeah. It's like, oh, how do I go to that? Because they still want to separate themselves. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, they want to feel important.
They want to feel that importance. They want to feel that loyalty. And it's hard. Like,
it's like trying to juggle, the loyalty side, but also, like, there's only so much you can get out of it. Yeah. But at the same time, you want to balance that relationship and professionalism.
Exactly. And I get the sense too, as an athlete side, where, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm just there as a journey, you know, a part of their journey. Sorry. So at any time they can leave and go somewhere else. And I'll never hate on that. You know, I'm like, oh, if you feel like you've got enough from me, go elsewhere. It's all good. Like, I'll never hate on that, you know, but some people always just stay loyal like that. Yeah. And so with those certain people where I get leads from, it's like, look, sorry, probably look elsewhere, because, you know, I'm kind of full at the moment, or this or that. So Yeah, that's the kind of issue because especially with my group side too, like with the performance side,
Yep.
is like I try to keep a cap. Like
Yeah. I've noticed that too.
at the end of the day, like I could have 40, 50 people, like easy. Like my off-season program, I had to pull people away. But in the same sense, like I know people say, "Oh, you should bring another coach to compensate for that." I'm like, yeah, but at the same sense, I'm that person, and I feel like it's kind of my worst enemy too. Because like
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, nah, I don't want it like that.
Yeah.
You know, like this way. Like I want people, whoever, you know, down this road where I can be a mentor to someone, as in for a coach.
Yeah,
and that,
for coaching, yeah.
which would be awesome. I can't wait for that. But you know, I want everyone to have their own flavor. But it's just, I think me as a person, where if I'm with a big group and they were there too, and then there was something like I wouldn't want them to do, I'd be like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Like, no, I don't want that. So, yeah, I'm all about quality over quantity, man.
yeah.
And that's big. So, like, you know, even though the prices may be a bit higher, but to the parent or to the athlete themselves, the older athletes, they know they're coming to Michael Fualalo for quality. You know, that's with the fitness side too. Like, obviously, I want to be big enough there as well. But in the same sense, I kind of, that's flowed into the fitness side too, where it's, I try to keep it to reasonable groups so everyone gets, you know, Michael Fualalo there,
Yeah.
you know, as the coach. Obviously, where I have coaches where I won't be there, I'll be like, all right, cool, because like I'm not there. Like they're doing their thing, which is mad. But if I'm there and another coach is there, and I just get a bit like, nah, man, like I want the full control.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an ego thing or something, but the business side of it, that sense is like I'll never go numbers where if an athlete or, you know, a weekend warrior was to come to train with Michael Fualalo in a group setting, it will never be close to over 30. Just because I know past 30, people start doing, starts wandering, eyes wandering, and I want quality over anything. Because in a day, once people go from there, my biggest lead would be obviously word of mouth, but everyone sees results.
Yeah,
everyone sees results, man. So with that side of the my business, the performance side, results speaks massive. So I'll make sure it's that size group because I know what I'm providing for that group is all quality. You know, so.
Can I ask why? So you're saying that quality over quantity. You're even looking into the loyalty side of things of, you know,
Academy, the performance side, the healthy house fitness will always be there. You know, as in if I was to open up my own spot, numbers come in, that's fine. You know, like, and this is no disrespect to any other gyms out there. You know, like everyone can program that side of the group class. You know, obviously it's how you program it, the vibe you bring. Man, everyone will always come there for the vibe. You know, because at the end of the day, like anyone can go to any gym.
Yeah,
but it's the vibe you bring. Then that goes to the performance side as well. Sticking with the day ones, I just feel like and this goes for the fitness side as well. Is like I always respect those people because they've been with me day dot through the thick and thin. They've seen the good, the bad times. When numbers went there, you know, when other people just chose to go elsewhere, they stuck. You know, so I feel like I've got that agreement with them to, all right, like whatever happens, bang. You know, I'll always be there for them. And this is not like disrespecting to any other new athlete coming in. Everyone I treat the same. I'll treat everyone from A to Z the same, you know, but from the day dot people that from when I started to where I am now, that's been there through the journey, they'll always have that special place, you know, and if I get leads from those people, as in from the performance side, I'll always think twice because, all right, how are you going to separate, you know, and they always want that. Because they've earned that respect from me. They've earned that, like, trust, that respect as the coach. The bond is always there. And, you know, when the bad times are bad, when you got home coming through, and it's it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's bad times, but they're always there,
Yeah.
always there. So that's the juggling bit too. Was like, and that goes for any new athlete too that's coming through the performance side of business. Is like, they're coming here because they know what they're gonna get.
Yep.
They want to separate from it. So like, they get leads from them too. I'm like, all right, if they're starting off at the same time, then I'm like, all right, man, but I'm trying not to get too many leads from that one person.
Yeah.
Has the same sense.
Because then they start to feel
Exactly
like,
right.
oh, what do I get
Exactly.
that's different to them? Because it looks like you're getting the same thing.
Exactly. So that's why just for now, where I'm at, like, I just cap all my numbers. The fitness side, I can go a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, because then I just got to overwatch their form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
And it's a circuit based.
Yeah. It's like that group fitness side.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But with the performance side, there's that extra niche that, some of them, they want that goal of making a professional.
Yeah.
So the parents are doing whatever for their kids, or even the older athletes, trying to find that edge.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure whoever comes through, I'm that edge for them. So they're not coming in, they're not leaving the way they were.
Yeah.
So that's the issue I'm having at the moment, because I want to grow as a business massive. I want to be, I'll put my mentor out there.
Yeah.
Roger, for me, he owns the game, as in the speed game. He's got multiple coaches under him, multiple athletes by his and that road. He's gone through kind of walking the same road as in that business sense of it. Like, I've seen it from scratch, like how he runs it and everything, and got a good insight into that. Obviously, only putting my own flavor into it, but it's kind of the same process.
Yeah.
He's kind of written the blueprint. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel. It's just I'm trying to add my own flavor into it. And I feel like at this moment, I can't bring in any more coaches into the performance side just for that sense. Is like, I just don't feel right yet to like look away, have someone else, push my brand even more. So I know there'll be a time for that, and I can't wait for that time, because I want to mentor people into that sense. Like, be yourself, but the same sense, like, who you're working for, and you don't want to I don't want my name to go down. So that's how.
Yeah, so that's your why.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much why you keep. Yeah, I love the fact that you mentioned about the loyalty side of things. Of you don't want it to be looked at for your day one client, for them to think that I give the exact same thing that I'm giving to a new person that's coming through versus them. And I think that's probably where a lot of other athletes might lose interest in staying, is because they feel like, if you think about it, they've been with you for so long, and they're getting the same treatment as a guy that just came in like 2 weeks ago. So it's like that bit of balance. Yeah.
Well, that goes with the fitness side too. Like, I've had clients there from, I was saying now, a lot of the clients I had from the start, pretty much not there now. Only maybe one or two. Everyone else went elsewhere, which is fine. Like, I'll never hate on that. It's like people come and go in the group fitness stage, which is good. But I've had people there for now 3 years, going on to 3 years, stayed solid. They're still bringing in people, family members, and that. And those people, they'll always have that special place.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, without them, there's no healthy hustle fitness. Without the athletes, there's no Fualalo, no healthy hustle performance.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll always give that gratitude for those people. So they need that respect, because at the end of the day, like, they still bring in leads, they still bring in people for your business to put food on the table and whatnot to help you grow. So for anyone that, like, they need to respect those people highly, then, all those people that just come and go and whatnot. So for me, it's just, I feel like it's a character thing. Like, you need to, like, it's just, it's like an unwritten rule. I feel like you got to, like, and that goes with the pro athletes at the moment. Like, I've got to coach, my number one, my very first junior bottle, like, massive shout out. Like, he opened a lot of doors, and that he only came when he was at a stage, I think, going through Origin. He was just going through the Origin arena. He could have went to any coach, but for him, he's a very community-based person too. Like, he always gives back to community. He's born in Miller. He's from Miller area. So, man, like, and he knows, like, I was there. So he reached out. I was like, oh man, like, I'm kind of starting too. And I was like, look, man, I just left a bit, and then I reached out back. I was like, nah, June's like, if you're willing, give me a shot. We'll do it. And man, he never hesitated. from that, then other athletes, you know, seeing one Josh Alawai and came from Tower, Richard, you know, then doors just open. And the day dot crew, that bunch are just coming through now, like Gordon Chan, Trey Mooney, all those guys coming through. Like, I always have massive respect for those guys because, yes, to a sense, they'll bring leads, a lot of followers and that. But 1 or 2 leads will only come from those people, you know, like, and not trying to put them away, you know, but from those guys, like, a lot of doors open, as in opportunities elsewhere. Like, a lot of teams would come offer me, but I'll go there. Business side, money wise, great opportunities, but I just feel like I don't want to be like caged, as in, oh no, you can only coach our players from our team. Or our system. You can't coach anyone else. So for these guys that coming through, that stuck through me from when I started, and now they're made it professionally, or the guys that were pretty much at their peak, gave me a shot when they could have went anywhere else. Man, how can I tell them, look at them in the face, oh, look guys, I got this opportunity here. And they probably will accept that, like, nah, bro, take that.
Yeah,
like,
because they want you to grow.
Yeah, they want me to grow, which is mad. Like, and I know they would say that too, you know, but man, I couldn't do that to them. Even to the girl athletes too, like, there's massive respect for, man, I just feel like
we haven't even spoken about the girls.
Like the girls too, like my first athlete, hopefully she's coming through the ranks now, you know, like girl athlete. She's going real good now. Margaret Rose at St. George, she's going real good. She's pretty much my first female pro athlete that gave me a shot. Then from there, a lot of doors come from there too. You know, hopefully I'll get to tap into that market a little bit more. But at the same time,
because it is growing.
It is growing, you know, and I feel like I have scared some of the women athlete away just because not how I coach or not how I come across, it's just how I train. Like, man, everyone that comes through, and I'll tell this exact same message to everyone that comes through the performance side, is I don't care how old you are. Like, and the youngest athlete at the moment is 9. So like I'll say from 9 to the professional athletes, everyone's the same to me, because at the end of the day, you need results. That's why you've come here. I'm going to be a coach. I'm not going to be the one, I'll pay you on the back. Oh, good job, man. Like, man, like if it's not right, I'll just tell you straight. And I feel like, you know, with the way I train too, some of the female athletes have come through, and, you know, I do write the sessions out accordingly to them, time-wise or not. They still work on the same time, but same different distances, whatnot. They are tough, and I'm just like, nah, let's go. Like, this is what you want. This is what you want to be. Be grateful you get this opportunity. Let's get it. You know, and some of them, they go through hell in the trenches, and, you know, if you're one of those female athletes that have come through, like, it's not intentional. I just want the best for everyone that comes through, you know. So I would like to get through the women's league, market more, as in improve their speed, performance side of it. But, you know, God's timing, you know, so I'm not going to rush that since time will tell with that. So,
definitely there is a growing market in the women's game. Funny enough, my little sister is playing Tasha Gale at the moment now. She at the Bulldogs. So she's currently
apparently there's a good speed coach in Oxton Park.
Yeah.
I just heard his name's Michael Fualalo. So, maybe check him out.
And like, funny enough, like when she started getting into the game, I started to open my eyes a lot more, and I started to realize, damn, the girls' game is actually growing
from where it was. Like, so
years ago.
So like, was support like Mama Tafa into it. Eleanor as well. Like, they were trailblazers. Like, to start the game from where it was, and I used to watch that from where it was to now. Oh man, the athletes are coming through now, like, and it's not even that, it's like the confidence, because for some women athletes, they get shied away from. They don't want to show people what they got. But now the crop coming through, man, they're just ruthless. Like, I've seen some games, I'm like, wow. Like, the athletic ability is crazy from where it was, you know. So it's mad to see, and I hope it just keeps growing the way it is. Because most of the girls coming through and allow me to train them, like, they're great athletes, you know. Not only that, great human beings. And I want them to achieve the most, you know. I want them to see where they don't need to work still. But they're at that stage where some of them are, obviously the marquee players, they need to work, they're getting good money or not, but they're going through that stage. But it's all thanks to those trailblazers.
The ones that started.
You know. So I'll always make sure, like, whoever's coming through now, the younger crops, I let them know, like, you know, if you ever train with these girls that have the opportunity to, you pay your respect, because they started this, you know. And that's for me as well. Roger kind of started the speed game massive for the field athletes, speed sense of it. He was always a track coach as well too.
Yeah.
But I always do my respect to that because he told me the ropes, he showed me everything, ins and outs. I'll always pay my respect to that, you know. Never bite the hand that feeds you kind of thing. So
There's one thing I did want to add on to, and it's actually a conversation that we had after the netball, like when we done the netball girls, like the content, right? And we're just having, we had this like an hour chat, just
like we are
yeah,
now.
like And I remember we were having a conversation, and you were mentioning to me the story on how when you're having the the NRL players or the higher up guys, the pro guys coming in, and you have some of the young kids, and you do like a big the field session, the combined session. And there was one thing that you mentioned, and it was the fact that you encourage the young ones to get the most out of the pro ones. What strived for you to do that? Like, what was like your...
So what strived was what made me get into that more was we'll go off not last year's off season, the year before. So I had a majority of the NRL group, NRLW girls coming through too. And I was like, all right. So I had the senior group still, had that group. Never combined it. There was one session we did. It was pretty much me and Drew. We did like a combined session at Christmas and had most of those athletes come to that session. And it's like, all right, no, next off season I'll tap into this, So, and this is a massive credit to those professional athletes too, because those Saturday sessions was mainly conditioning and ball skills. So that time of year, like obviously the off season, I want them to still have a bit of fun and whatnot, but I want to give value into a sense of those senior guys that are striving to get there, or some of the juniors that wanted to get there. Credit to these guys. I asked them, I go, look guys, you might be combined with some other athletes, my senior group, maybe some juniors that I think are good enough that won't hold the group back. Man, all of them, no worries. Now, I don't know if they said that just through the text just inside, they're like, oh man, I got to do this. But man, credit to them. They mixed in. At the start, the first session, I still remember, they had their groups.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because all the senior guys in that got on time. Some of the professional athletes start strolling in, doing what they're doing. I'm like, all good, like always give that time, like be the 8th feeder, we'll probably start like 20 to 9 or whatnot, So I'll always give that 10-minute buffer, 15-minute buffer, because I know what people like, athletes are like. They'll just start strolling through, what it is. But that first session, bang, they were like kind of separated, and I was like, all right, I didn't want to go into it like, no, mix in. I just want to see naturally how it will change, Second session come in. It was kind of still the same, but it started to change once the session got tougher. The elite athletes, the professional athletes started speaking. The seniors started to follow. And I was like, oh man, this is good. It's good to see. So I let it just happen naturally. The third session kind of started happening still. And then I just jumped in. I was like, look guys, you got to know these guys are here training with yous, and now be grateful for this time, because this is what they do for a job, what you want to be. Get amongst it, tap into that. These guys don't bite, man. They're happy to help. Just ask them that question. They be standoffish, Get up, talk to them, be loud, let them know who you are, what you want to try to achieve, what skills. They're happy to give that insight, That's why they're here. If they weren't happy with that, do you think they'll be here?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're here for their own goal too. Don't get me wrong. Preseason serves its own purpose. They're just here trying to get fit. So when they get into preseason, they're not far behind and trying to catch up.
I hear that too, because like when you're doing the preseason, like the field session, it's usually before Christmas. So that's when everyone's getting ready to enjoy their holiday, mini holiday for a week or two.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they go back in.
And then after that, it just flowed. Like it was so good to see. Like they were learning a lot. These guys will speak up. Senior crew and that would listen. The eyes up, listen. All right. They will get amongst it. Whatever was just spoken about, they're doing it. Then even some of the senior guys just all mixing in. And by the end of it, it was so good to see. Like, and then, you were at that session too when we did that combined with Drew and Z as well.
Yep.
You were there filming it. Like, we had some guys there. Man, they were getting amongst it, having fun.
Yeah.
I saw some people ask him some stuff too, like, oh, how do you do it like this?
Yeah.
And it's and it's a massive credit to those pro athletes. Like I had a good one too. Is who was it? It's Olukawatu. So he, I think he was just came back from.
Amole?
Yeah, Amole. He just came back from overseas with the Tongan tour thing, whatnot. He had his couple of days off. Then he just messaged, he's like, "Oh, bro, can you send me the schedule?" I sent him the schedule. And then there was one session. I was like, "Look, man, we're doing this. We're doing conditioning at the field. I got some juniors just coming to some extras. I had some free time, so I thought." And these juniors are like, 11, 10, 11, 12. And he's like, "Nah, sweet, done.
Yeah.
Just I'll come amongst it. All good." I was like, "Oh, bro, sweet. Like, I'll just change the distances. Obviously, the times will be the same. The juniors will be less. For us, will be more. And I always get amongst it with the crew, especially with the fitness side.
Yeah.
Because the speed side, that's what they pay me for. They're there for that. The condition side, I always like getting amongst it. So Amole came in, man. Those kids' eyes just went bang.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, is that? It's like, hey, just act normal.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being like that? Like, I get, he's just probably the biggest star at the game at the moment. But just be normal, man. Like, he's just another human like us. Obviously, he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
But just treat him the same. The kids are like, oh, and then they get to train with one of the best athletes in rugby league, like probably arguably number 1 or 2 or 3 back rows in the game.
Yeah.
So like for them to train with that, it's just a big insight where they wouldn't get elsewhere. So and it's credit for these guys. Like I always tell them a lot because they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
They don't need to come train with the other kids, juniors or but they're giving back.
Yeah.
And I'll always thank them for that. So for that sense of it, very happy, and I'm glad that it's worked out that way. So, good.
Yeah. And so, just following on to what you were just mentioning about, doing the field session, I wanted to bring that up because, like, just the way that you were able to merge the two, get the older, the pro players and the young guns coming through. And I just wanted to get an understanding as to why you do that. So, just so that the listeners can understand, because if you think about it, you could focus more on the business side of things, or, making sure that there's cash flow coming through and like your revenue is all sweet. But from the sounds of it, it looks like you're more so looking at, and this is what I like to look at, is looking at the long-term game, playing the long game, which is looking at, building that relationship with your clients and ensuring that not only are you building the relationship with your clients, but ensuring that it's still there.
Yeah.
Because I know even that, like, I know within other businesses, some only just do it for the money.
Yeah.
Some other people just do it because they're getting cash flow coming through. But to me, what I'm getting out of you is that it's more than just that.
Yeah.
Money is coming, through to pay rent, pay bills, give food on the table for your family. But it looks to me that healthy hustle performance, healthy hustle fitness is more than just getting money coming through.
Firstly, and I'll make this clear, I'm not making big bucks where my wife can stay home, and like she's doing her bit too, and I'm very grateful for that too, But in the sense of that, like I feel like in the industry I'm in, like it's always and I've always said this from day dot. If I was gonna be a coach, is people first, winning will come second, and yes, you got PTs out there, just the money flow, and I feel like that's in the areas where those people can pay. They're in the good areas where money's not an issue. When you're out, Southwest Sydney and that, money's a bit tight for families, and good on them, like they're trying to do the best for their kids, or the older athletes that work and pay their rent, they've got their own families or whatnot, but they still want to get better. So they're finding ways to make ends meet, but they still want to get better. So I've always said, like, I've always want to put people first. The winning will come, and so it's that saying, lead by faith, not by sight. I'm just leading by faith, and I know my time will come. Playing that long game, like you said. So I've always looked at someone never as an athlete, always looked at them as a person first, get that mutual respect. I like, who are you? I am cool. All right, let's get to work after. Wow. So what are you up to now? Like, how's everything? Still connecting that way, because that side will come, and I'm always my true blessing will be to everyone that I do coach will be, I'll always give, not expecting anything in return. And, my blessing will come in time. I'm a big believer in that. Yes, I still make sure cash flow is coming through, doing all the right things so my business can grow, have a good foundation. I know now my business is at a good foundation because now I'm starting to implement, the packages. We've got to lock you in for this amount of time. This is for the fitness side as well, you know, because obviously I want to get myself ready to the ultimate goal, have my own spot.
Yeah.
So I need to implement these stuff. But at the start, it was kind of like just on the flow. Like, and I'm not scared to say that. I was just on the flow, learning on the go. You know, I never reached out to any business person. Like, teach me the business side of it. You know, I purely knew my own blueprint. Like, it will come in time. You know, I had some tough times at home. Like, man, every early PT would. You know, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I just stuck with it, man. And I knew the method I wanted to apply, and which will separate me from everyone else, would be that aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, be that coach where people can rely on more than just look, this is my coach. Yeah, he made me this. It's more like, oh no, this is my coach. He's the man. Like, he's this. You know, all that side of business will come with that. And I'm a true believer. Now there might be people out there that go, oh, he's a load of crap. Yeah. It may be. I may be wrong. I may be wrong, but I won't go out there and find it. Like, I want to learn on myself. Yeah. You know, and man, been in the game, 4 or 5 years? Hasn't let me wrong. Like, when the tough times have come, I've had that foundation there, and it's always picked me up. So every time I fall, it's like a higher low that I'm falling to. It's never, all right, here's my low. I'm here. Oh, back down there, square one. It's like, all right, I'm here. Yeah. Oh, I'm there now. And I'm always falling at a higher low when I do fall. And there's times I'm not going to say, everything's perfect. Yeah. You know?
Everyone goes through their days.
Everyone goes through their days, you know, especially business side of it. But as the business side of everything is, I'm happy where it's at. You know, like, I still get to pay rent. I get to do stuff I want to do with my kids, my family. Yes, my wife is still working and she's doing a great job at that. But I'm holding my end as in that sense, and I'm proud of that, because a lot of PTs, it's a tough life out there, man. Like, it's not easy, especially, you know, gym, you got to pay your own rent there, then you got to pay your own rent at home. Like, it's not easy at all. But, you know, I'm finding a way, and I feel like it's a good way that I'm going, and I'm not going to strive away from that. I might have people like yourself. You're very smart, that business sense of it. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to get distracted by that sense, you know, even though it might not be the right way, but for me, I feel like it is, and I believe it's going to happen. So I'm going to keep like that, and then time will tell. You know, I'm hopefully get some people that believe in me enough where they will back me or will not. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not rushing it. It'll come. It's timing. So.
Yeah, man. Well, we're going to start landing the plane of this podcast. But I wanted to, you know, kind of summarize all this, you know, looking at what we've spoken about today. If there was one lesson that you could, or I guess one advice that you can give to the people out there, just based on what you shared today, what would you want to give, like, the big message for them that are listening in? Like, what would be some encouraging advice? Our target audience is, you know, people within the business game, or they're wanting to start entrepreneurs, or people that are wanting to grow. Like, they're looking at growing their business. Like, just from your own experience, what's some, you know, piece of advice or word of advice that you want to, you know, drop some?
Don't be scared.
Yep.
Like, just dive in. Be ready to fail, you know. A lot of people got great ideas out there. You know, they might have that idea that people need. They got that, you know, there's a problem there. They got that idea that can solve that problem. But what is it? They're scared. You know, so don't fall back. Just dive into it. You're going to fail. But, you know, make sure you're ready for that. You know, like, some people have calculated risks, which is a smart thing to do. Yeah. I'll be one to say I wasn't lost. I didn't have calculated smart. Like, I left my jobs straight off the bat. Bang.
And then COVID happened.
So I pretty much reverse engineer it. Like, I went through the back door to go through the front. Yeah. Like, and I was scared. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I wasn't scared. Man, I had 2 kids, wife. I had to do what I needed to do, but I was ready for it. I was just ready. I just wanted to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. So just get ready to get into it. If you got that idea, don't be scared of it. You know, just go in. You will fail, but, you know, enjoy the process. Yeah. Enjoy that failure and learn off it. You know, it's only a failure if you don't learn off it. It's only a lesson. You know, everyone's heard those motivation quotes or not. So I'm not going to try to add my own 5 cents into that. But what I will add is just go, sink or swim. Just go for it. You know, at the end of the day, man, like, if you don't, the regret's the biggest thing. Regret's massive. You will look back on, man, I should have done it. Why didn't I do it? So just get amongst it.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. So, what we do on the Behind the Brand is that we get our previous special guests to ask a question for you, and so I'll.
Oh. I don't want to know.
But this
don't
one,
tell me.
this
Will you
one,
tell me who it is. Don't tell me who it is because I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
no, but this one's a special one. So I'm just gonna. So this is what I was talking to you about.
Okay, yeah.
So I was actually, I was just messaging before we jumped on. I was actually messaging the previous special guest because, apparently we didn't actually get a question. So I ended up asking him literally as I was on my way here to do this podcast. I was like, what's the question? He's like, I forgot. He's like, just chuck one in. So I'm gonna jump in. We kind of already broken the cycle, but I'm gonna come in and fill in for the question for you. And so my question is, what is the end goal?
What is the end goal?
Yeah, what's the end goal? So let's say you look back in life, you're laying down in your hospital bed on your deathbed, and you got your family with you, and it's time for Michael Fualalo to ascend or descend.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Either way.
What would be the end goal for you at that time? What would something you'd be looking back and be like, okay, I'm grateful that I've done it, I've achieved it. What would that one thing be?
That one thing would be. Wow, that's a good question. Actually, makes me think about it. I'm not going to go into the business side. It'll be my legacy I leave behind.
Yep.
Like, people remember who I really was.
Yeah.
But that's a deep one.
Yeah.
That my end goal would be that, man. Like, I look at my dad.
Yep.
I'm going to put my dad into this. Everyone knows him as Uncle Charlie. If you didn't know that was my dad, that's my dad. So Uncle Charlie is my dad. If you see him at Cabra, give him a good slap on the head. Say this from your son, Michael. But I hold him highly regarded in that sense. Like, and my mum as well. But my dad, everyone knows him for that. Like Uncle Charlie, and he never, times were tough, and I saw those times. He never went away from who he was in front of people. Like, he was always genuine. It wasn't fake. It was just who he is. And everyone come to, do you know this guy, your dad, man? He's a lot of athletes come through. They've crossed paths with my dad. Yeah. And so, like, I know when his time's to come, his legacy is going to be massive. So my end goal will be that, to leave behind that, where my wife can be happy, my kids, hopefully I don't go before.
Yeah.
In that sense, if that time was to come, it's like, wow, Michael Fualalo was this person, and my legacy I leave behind will be my end goal. Everything else is just material to me. Like, business, this and that, it's just all material, which, yes, it holds a place in my heart. Don't really care for it much, as in that sense. What really cares is what I leave behind and what people know me for, especially my kids and wife. So it's my legacy, man. Yeah, that's my biggest end goal. Yeah, that was a deep one. That was a good question. I like that. But like lately, man, people have been hitting me with those questions, those deep questions, which now, I don't know if it's the book I'm reading or the journey I'm going on. It's just crazy, And now it really sits me back. I'm like, man, this is good. This stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is, like, after we finish this podcast, I'm going to ask you the question for the next one, and then you have to give me that one, and then and it's funny, you already know the next person that's jumping on.
I hope you're ready. I know he's coming on next. I hope you're ready.
And so we're just going to finish off. I want to say thank you so much, bro, for jumping on. Is there anything you want to share before I get into the last part of our?
No. To be honest, I thank you. Like we touched on it slightly, from where you are to where you are now, a massive achievement. So all praise to you, man. Also, all praise, glory goes to God once again. Amen. Thank you for this opportunity. Hopefully you bless my man across from me with many more success. Also to the listeners, bless them and myself as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Really grateful that you jumped on board. You're currently episode number 3.
Beautiful.
So next thing you know, the next one's gonna be 300.
Let's go.
We're just doing a recap.
No, that's good, bro. No, that's mad.
Yeah. So So if there's anyone out there that's wanting to know more about Marco Fualalo, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yep. So on Instagram mainly, if you want to join in for the general fitness, the group fitness side, that's Healthy Hustle Fitness on Instagram. If you're looking for more of a athlete side, performance side of it, just follow me on Marco_Fualalo. Would you say it's Fualalo?
Yeah, sweet. And so for those out there that are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys check down the link down below. And if you're listening on Spotify, it'll be in the bio. Or if not, just check out our Instagram page at the Behind the Brand AUS. But yeah, so there was something that you wanted to give to the audience out there.
Yeah, so for the audience out there listening, if you want to join or you want to try to feel the Healthy Hustle Fitness side of it, yeah, coming down to say the first 5 people will get 2 weeks free. I think my man will put down the codes and everything. DM me with that code. For the performance side, once again, first 5 people that come through will get 1 session free.
Yeah, sweet. And so just a summary, guys. Mark Fualalo is doing 2 offers for the Healthy Hustle Fitness. So if you're wanting general population, anyone out there that's wanting to
Group fitness.
group fitness side, yeah. So first 5 that reaches out to him, DM him, HHF24.
Yep.
That's the code, and that'll be in the description down below. The first 5 will get the first 2 weeks free.
Yep.
And for the performance, the Healthy Hustle performance is the athletes that wanting to increase their speed, increase their performance, get ready for their season or in season. Check out Marco Fualalo at Fualalo 24. That's the code. And the first 5 that reaches out to him, DMing him the code, we get the first session free. So make sure you guys check that out. That's exclusively for the people out there that are listening to the Behind the Brand. We're grateful for that, man. But other than that, we're going to finish off.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you to those out there that are listening in. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you. See you.
Damn.
That was mad.
How you feel?
Yeah, good. I felt good coming into it. I just, oh, how am I going to speak?
Yeah.
Like, I want to take English classes, like English classes.
Yeah.
Like just to,
Why's that?
just to learn how to speak better. You know, like not be like one of the boys.
Yeah.
You know how we talk, like.
Yeah. All right, bro. Before I get you ahead, because I know that you're
No, that's right.
you're on a rush.